Hey everybody, it's me, Gregory Mannarino, back again for my post-market wrap-up. It's not a lovely day today, and I'm frankly disgusted, big time. I have a lot of stuff I want to talk about. Wednesday, August 1st, 2018. So I almost don't know where to begin, and I'm going to try to put this together in a way that will make sense to you, and I'm going to try to stay calm here with all of this. So, all right, so today was Fed Day. The Fed did not raise rates today. Meanwhile, what they did do, once again, is push their narrative and say our economy is strong. Meanwhile, again, let's put this into perspective. They could not raise the federal funds rate even 0.25% on this strong our strong economy narrative. They did say that they were going to maintain, I hope you're sitting down for this, and this is their words, not Greg Mannarino, they will maintain accommodative monetary policy. So clarify this for me, because I'm not that bright. Why does the Federal Reserve have to maintain accommodative monetary policy if we are in the strongest economy that we've ever been, according to our president, Donald Trump? I'm having a very difficult time reconciling that. I'm also having a very difficult time reconciling what I'm about to tell you. And please clarify this for me as well, because again, I'm not too bright. So we got an announcement today. We found out that the Treasury Department is going to be expanding their bond auctions moving forward because they need to raise capital to fund our booming economy. Does that make any sense to you whatsoever? Again, I'm not too bright, so maybe you can clarify that for me in the face of President Trump's, continued narrative that we're in the strongest economy ever. Now, we also heard from the Commerce Department today and the Institute on Supply Management, two very negative economic reports on top of all the other ones that we've been getting as well. So what happened? Did they not get the memo that we're in an economic boom right here? So this is why I am disgusted. We get a Federal Reserve who is going to maintain accommodative monetary policy, stating that we are going to get a hike moving forward. I believe it's coming in September. That's my take, and I will address this moving forward again. But there's a chance we won't, and I'm going to talk about that too. But again, let's ignore that, and I will address it when we get closer. Again, I'm getting sidetracked here. So the Federal Reserve pushing their narrative, we have a strong economy, strong, over and over again with what they said today. But again, they have to maintain, and they will be maintaining accommodative monetary policy. But remember, everyone, don't forget this part, please. We are in the strongest economy ever. Meanwhile, again, I think this is an act of desperation that the Treasury Department has to expand auctions now. They're going to be issuing more debt. More debt. How do you fix a debt crisis, which we're in, by adding more debt to it? We saw the same thing during the European debt crisis. You remember all that? How could our economy be booming if the Treasury Department is saying we're going to have to now expand our auctions, make them bigger? We have to auction off more debt so we can fund our economy. Are you kidding me? This is why I am disgusted, and why there's many people out here who are zombies, who have some kind of distorted faith in a failing economy under a president, frankly, who is lying through his teeth. Look, I voted for Donald Trump, and I expected things to be a little bit different here, but there are some very deluded people out here who refuse to see the truth. There are some people out here who believe that President Trump is going to take over the Fed. He already has taken over the Fed, unless you live under a rock. He has stated that he needs and wants the Federal Reserve to stay out of the way, maintain accommodative monetary policy, that is, keep buying up the debt here to maintain where we are. If we were really in a booming economy, would any of these things that I just went over be taking place? Absolute zero. You understand? Look, I don't know about you, but it's as plain as, I don't know, the hand in front of your face right now. The U.S. economy is failing. It's failing right here and right now. If you do not believe that, show me the proof. Where is the proof that our economy is not failing? I mean, the biggest tell today, I know I'm going off the deep end on this, is the fact that the Treasury Department now has to expand their sale of more debt, adding to the debt bubble, because we can't fund our own economy. How is that a thriving or booming economy? Look, open invitation. President Trump, talk to me. Tell me where I have gone wrong. You want to? Let's do a little Twitter thing together. I know you love Twitter, but this is insane, and things are just utterly out of control. Let's talk about more things that are further out of control. So the Confederacy of Dunces, if you notice, I've been kind of nice to these people later. Let's call them the COD. C period, O period, D period. Well, the COD over there. Today, they were fixated on Apple. That's all they wanted you to look at was Apple. How many of you, with a show of hands, put your hand up, know what the global Dow is? Okay, if you don't know what it is, that's okay. It's 150 of the world's largest companies. You can look up the global Dow anywhere, like MarketWatch. It finished in the negative today. But don't worry about the 150 companies. Let's worry about what one company is doing. Meanwhile, the entire market. The Dow Jones Industrial Average finished in the negative. The S&P 500 finished in the negative. The Russell 2000 finished in the negative. The NASDAQ went almost negative today. It was the only positive index because of Apple. Look, there's something else that's unfolding here right before people's eyes, and they're ignoring it. The financial sector, the largest of them all. Did you see what happened over the last 2 days here? It's pretty interesting. Both days, today and yesterday, the financial sector tried to put on gains. It couldn't do it. So what does that tell me? It tells me there's trouble ahead. Let's put another perspective on this. I know it's getting kind of long-winded. The market today had every reason in the world to rally 300-400 points, the Dow Jones Industrial Average, but it didn't. We get a Federal Reserve that's promising accommodative monetary policy for as far as the eye can see. We have a president here that clearly wants the Fed out of the way. Let's continue to inflate that debt bubble. These are stock market positive. I mean, like off the Richter scale. And meanwhile, stocks fail to put on any gains here. And the narrative right now, the market, the way it's going, is following exactly what I said would happen in my Saturday wrap-up here. So I'm not pulling any of this stuff out of a hat. I think and I believe I know exactly what I am talking about. I don't want to hurt anybody's feelings here with regard to President Trump, but if you have too much faith in this guy, first of all, you can't have any faith in any one person. And no one person has the power to change anything, including the Federal Reserve, although President Trump did take over the Fed by saying, stay out of the way. Let's keep the easy money going, and that's exactly what they are doing, and exactly what they're going to do, and that's why he put his guy in there. Please don't tell me you are so deluded that you believe that he means he's going to take over the Fed and make it all good for you. That's not going to happen. Very sad, very true, and yes, I am disgusted. But everything I have said here, every word is 100% factual, and it should make sense to you that things in our country are not what they seem. And our economy is not booming. Our economy is failing. Period. And we're going to see how this plays out moving forward. Again, keep your eye on this market because, again, the market today had every reason to vault higher, and it didn't take it. The financials look not so good to me. Right now, I had 5 earlier today. Credit spreads open against this market. I closed one today with a nice profit. I have 4 more open, which I will leave open for the next several days, maybe the next several weeks. I'm expecting those to also be profitable. Anyway, and all of them are against the market. So you can see where this guy's mentality is here moving forward. Look, I hate to sit here and sound the way that I just did. But I do not see a booming economy. I see things falling into place in a very specific way, and all of it spells ugly across the board. I am sick and tired of the lies and the narrative. Meanwhile, If any of this narrative was true, seriously, would things be unfolding the way that they are right now? Absolutely not. Look, I'm not saying things would be any better under the other one. You know who I'm talking about, but we got to stop the comparison here. You can't, look, she lost the election. That's over with, but things are not going too well under this guy, although he wants you to believe this is it. We've reached the pinnacle. Couldn't do any better than they were doing right now. Well, if you believe that, I have a couple of bridges I'd like to sell you and a few other things too. All right, with that said, I hope this has been informative for you, and I hope it didn't offend too many people. I'm sure I have, but instead of being offended, maybe you should sit back and look at the facts, because that's exactly what I'm doing. All right, with that said, see you in the morning. Over and out.